to understand what it means by the influence of the culture of a country entering into Klal Yisrael, which is what we have to remember. Remember the day we left Mitzrayim, Seischem Eretz Mitzrayim, when we left the culture of Mitzrayim. We see from the Parsha and the Haftarah Shabbos HaGadol that it says over there that you have to know bin tzaddik l'rosha, bin oived Hashem l'lo yavodei. So bin tzaddik l'rosha is a kasha. What do you mean? We all know what a tzaddik and a rosha is. So I mean, what do you mean? We will now understand the difference between a tzaddik and a rosha. It means what we have to understand what is good and bad, that we ourselves have to understand, and that's Ma'aser Sdoim. The reason Reuven destroyed Sdoim more than any other the country in the world was because people may think it's right, it's good, and that was one of the things they held of equality. The Rebbeinu Shalom doesn't believe in equality. He gave each one of us different keches, and each one of us can shtaigois in different ways, and to serve him in different ways. And therefore, the fact that we all want to be not one standing out above another means we're killing all the gifts that he gave us. Just to sleep, just to be able, he didn't give us keches to sleep in Shiur and know it, because that would be very unfair to the guy that has the whole Israel. He said each guy has his keches and his responsibilities of what it means. And that is what the difference between Tov and is. So therefore, we have to understand what good and bad is. On the other hand, we also have to understand that the Gemara says between a guy who learns 100 times to 101 times. Well, obviously, when one learns it 100 times, that's to know it. And that too is a chesed, because I'm only learning to know it. And how to learn it one time, so I learned it because I love it. I love it's God's word. I want to read the words. Like people have a special novel that they love to read, or a letter they love to read over and over and over again, even though they know the words backwards and forwards, but they love to read it over and over again. And that's the idea, that sort of thing. But there's more to it, I think, than that. I think most of the chidushim that people have is when they learn the Gemara without the pressure of I have to learn the Gemara. As I'm learning it, and all of a sudden I can think and say, I never thought about this, or I never thought about that. On the other hand, when you're Reuven to understand the Gemara, I have to think about it. So therefore you're thinking about what you think is the shverikite of the sugya and so on, and you're missing sometimes the side issues that are very important. And those are the things that we have. Now, first of all, I'll give you a Moshe from Tzav, which was the Seder of Shabbos HaGadol, and it says that Tzav B'nai Yisrael, and about the Oila. Now, and Rashi says that wherever it says the word Tzav, is to give you his reasons, because talk about a hefset moment, and the hefset moment, you have to mizarish it. What about every other mitzvah in the world? We also have to spend money on it. So why is this more of a hefset money than any other mitzvah? Elavos, this is what the raya was, that in the parashas, that the oila itself is to remember that everything belongs to God, that God gave me everything I have. In other words, when I say that I'm bringing an oila, I'm bringing everything I have, and saying that I have nothing. It's not mine. It's all for Reuven Shalom, and he did it, and I have to use it for kvodo, for what the purposes he wants to give me the money for, and that and stuff. So that's a very important thing. Another lesson that we had in Vayikra was because it says more Hashem by Gesel, to understand that it's not Me'ilah like the normal Me'ilah by Hegdish. Just says Me'ilah. You ate Hegdish, good, so you have to pay for it. But more Hashem, that doesn't say over there. But by Gesel it says it. That in other words, when more Hashem is we deny the keches that God has. We say that we can take what he doesn't want to give us, or that he can't give it to me in an honest way. And those things are denyings of his keches, and that we can't deny. That's why Mo'al Hashem. We're Mo'al Hashem. Now these are things that maybe we wouldn't think about normally, but now because we're learning it the 101st time, and so on like that, all of a sudden these things, we start thinking about it, because they're not really shot in the pasuk or whatever it is there, so therefore we are able to do it. think that is the purpose of the cases that we have, even though we have total freedom, but we have to get rid of the culture of Mitzrayim. And who did any foreign culture that keeps us away from being able to understand the Torah in its truest sense. Hatzlocha Rabbe, have a chag kosher v'sameach, and v'shizoyche tak getting the ulish labor this listen, and we'll still continue the shiur.